Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Esther, and if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you are returning, thank you so much for always coming back to the channel. I appreciate your support. So in today's video, I want to give information on how to change employer here in the UK. It doesn't matter whether you recently came to the UK or you've been here. This information will be useful to anybody that wants to change employer. So one good thing is that as a nurse, you are needed anyway. We are like a piece of cake, like we are in demand. So finding a job is nothing, it's not difficult. So you just need to get your things in order. So if you want to change employer, whether you want to change from NHS to care homes or you want to change from care homes to NHS, the process is pretty much the same. What you need to do is, point number one, you need to look at your current contract. So you need to study your current contract and understand it very well. You need to know what your current employer expects of you, whether they need you to pay back anything that they paid for you, or they will just let you go without having to pay back anything. So in most cases, your employer will pay for your flight ticket, your OSCE exam, your visa, and anything else. It can be anything. Your first accommodation. Most of the time, your employer will pay for your first accommodation when you first get to the UK. So a lump sum of that, you might need to pay it. Some of the employers would write it in the contract that if you work for them for at least 12 months, you will pay back maybe 75% or 50%, or if you stay for 3 years or so, you may not need to pay anything back. So it just depends on what stage you are in your employment or contract, or let me say, how long have you been in your current employment. So nothing should stop you from moving. If you are not comfortable at your work or you want to move to a different town, it can be different reasons. I'm not talking about why you need to move. I'm talking about how to go about the process. Most of the time we are employed on a 3-year contract, right? So look at your contract very well, and if you need to pay something back, that means you need to save money and have a plan on how to pay that money back. And if you don't need to pay back anything, that's good for you. Okay, so point number two is DBS. DBS is like back home we call it a criminal record, where they will check your history, whether you have committed some crimes or something like that. So here in the UK it's called DBS. So you make sure that you have your DBS. Most of the time when you arrive in the UK, your employer will apply for you a DBS. And one thing you should make sure is that once you get your DBS certificate, you need to apply for an online update service. And once you apply, you need to apply for an online update service within 30 days after you receive your certificate. Because if you don't apply for that update, then within 30 days, then you need to reapply for a new DBS and the time that you're going to change employer. Once you receive your DBS certificate, please go online and then apply for a DBS update service where you just pay like £13 per year, and then your DBS keeps updating, so that when you change the employer, you just give your certificate number and then they will check online. You don't have to apply all the time you change employer. Okay, so point number 3, you need to have visa fees. Okay, you need to have money to pay for your new visa, because once you change employer, your current employer will cancel the visa that you're currently using, that you're currently on. They will cancel that visa, so you will need to get a new visa from your new employer. So some of the employers will pay for the new visa, but some of the employers will not. But anyways, The visa is not that much expensive, to be honest. It's just 250, approximately 250 pounds. So yeah, just make sure that you have money saved for your visa. Talking about saving money, you need to have money saved, because if you are moving from one town to another, that means you will need to find a new home where you will pay a deposit and also rent at the same time. And also you need to pay for moving your properties. If you have any furnitures to be moved from one town to another, and you need to find an employer. So finding a new employer is not a challenge in the UK, because like I said before, when you are in the UK, it's more easier to find a job than when you are back home. Who is willing to sponsor, and an employer who is eligible to sponsor and give you a certificate of sponsorship. So and some of the employers will even, you know, buy your contract from your like current or previous employer. How good is that? I mean, if they can settle that amount that you owe from your previous employer and then give you a new contract, that is just good. So if you are moving from the current accommodation, you need to plan very well, because in the UK, when you are renting a property, you rent on contract. So if you sign a 12 months contract, you need to live in the house for 12 months. You don't just decide, you know what, I'm leaving this house, I'm moving to a different town, when you've only stayed for 6 months or 5 months, but you've signed for a 12 months contract. It is so difficult. It is very, very difficult. You need to make sure that if you want to change an employer, you sort out the accommodation contract first, and not forgetting to cancel the bills, the electricity, the gas, the water bills. At the end, like, just inform the council that you are moving, like when are you moving, because if you don't cancel these bills, they will still be charged from you while you have moved out. So you need to let the council know that or the service providers know that you are actually moving, you are moving out of this property, so that they do not continue to charge you. So the other thing you need to consider is if you are moving from one town to the next, you need to consider your children's schools. So you need to find schools for your children in the next town if you are moving to a different town. So, and also I advise you to make research first before you move to the UK. If you are given an offer, make a research about the town, about the town, the schools, if you know anybody living there, because it's always helpful if you know somebody that lives in that town. At least you know you have somebody to keep you company, or you have somebody to talk to, or yeah, you know what I mean. So it is possible. Personally, I changed employer within 8 months when I just arrived to the UK. 4 weeks notice, and yeah, it's possible you can change employers if you really want to change employers. Okay, I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions regarding changing employers, please comment in the comment section. I will be more than happy to answer your questions, because I have done this personally. I have done it, and you can do it as well if you want to. So please do not forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, and yes, thank you so much.